Portugal began as a small kingdom on Europe's Atlantic edge, yet turned the ocean into a highway of power. In 1415, the capture of Ceuta marked the start of an expansion strategy that combined war, trade, and religion. Under King John I and later with the momentum associated with Prince Henry, the Portuguese moved down the African coast and improved astronomical navigation, mapping, and ship design. Each voyage increased maritime knowledge and reduced reliance on overland routes controlled by intermediaries. By the mid-15th century, the kingdom had enough experience, wealth, and ambition to attempt something far bigger. With Bartolomeu Dias in 1488, the Cape of Good Hope was finally rounded. The psychological barrier between Atlantic and Indian waters collapsed. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached Calicut and proved the sea route to the spice trade. That achievement shifted global balances. Lisbon now competed directly in markets that had long fed Mediterranean hubs. Portugal moved beyond regional relevance and entered the arena of major powers. In the early 16th century, Afonso de Albuquerque consolidated a choke point strategy in the Indian Ocean. Goa became a political and military base, Malacca opened Southeast Asian routes, and Hormuz strengthened influence in the Gulf. The goal was not continuous territorial conquest, but control of maritime bottlenecks and commercial leverage. At the same time, Atlantic islands and the Brazilian coast expanded Portuguese presence. The empire functioned as a network, ports, fortresses, trading posts, and shipping lanes connected by armed fleets. Peak expansion also exposed structural weakness. Maintaining such a vast network demanded constant manpower, money, and logistics. Distance from Lisbon, local corruption, and systemic violence generated long-term strain. In 1578, the disaster of Alcácer Quibir and the death of King Sebastian triggered a succession crisis. In 1580, Portugal entered the Iberian Union under the Spanish Habsburgs. In practical terms, enemies of Castile now targeted Portuguese assets as well. Dutch and English forces advanced over routes and outposts, especially in Asia and the Atlantic. Even after the restoration of 1640, conditions had changed. Portugal regained political independence, but faced stronger maritime competitors and tighter resources. In the east, it lost several strategic positions. Still, it retained relevant footholds and reoriented imperial priorities. Brazil became the empire's central axis, first with sugar, then with 18th century gold. Lisbon reorganized institutions and tightened administrative control over core territories. The empire did not vanish overnight, it transformed to survive. In the 19th century, new pressures drove another turning point. The Napoleonic invasions pushed the Portuguese court to Rio de Janeiro in 1808, shifting the imperial center to America. That move empowered local elites and changed the balance between metropolis and colony. In 1822, Brazil declared independence. This marked the decisive inflection. The first global European empire did not end in one day, but it lost its main Atlantic pillar. The rise and fall of the Portuguese Empire is, above all, a story of adaptation, innovation, and limits. Portugal proved that naval technology, strategy, and commercial vision could project a small kingdom onto a world scale. It also showed that sustaining a dispersed empire under intense competition required resources and stability that were difficult to preserve for centuries.